What should you know about food in Minnesota? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about in this video today. Hi, I'm Schumann. I'm a realtor in the Twin Cities, and I make videos to help people navigate moving to Minnesota. If you have a question, I would love to hear from you, and my contact information is down below this video in the description box. If you're on a mobile device, all you need to do is tap the title and it will pop right open. While you're in there, there's some free downloads that I have available so you can help yourself. A friend of mine who really enjoys cooking said that she didn't really think there was a Midwestern cuisine, and I actually disagree with this, and apparently so does James Beard Award-winning Minnesotan and chef Amy Thielen. The foods I'm going to talk about here aren't necessarily special, but they are the foods that Minnesotans seem to crave. So I'm going to start with number one, which is hot dish with Tots. This one is Minnesota all the way. People here rave about it. I'm still a little skeptical, but I tend to keep that to myself. I think most people probably think of this particular casserole when they say it. It's ground beef, cream of celery soup. You know you're in the Midwest if they're putting a can of Campbell's soup in the recipe. Mixed vegetables, pretty sure green beans and corn are standard. Cheese, and then they top it with tater tots and they bake it in the oven. This casserole or hot dish makes me think of a word from my childhood when we would eat leftovers. We called it mofungo. I eat mofungo. It's no problem. I haven't eaten this particular mofungo. Everybody tells me it's delicious and that I'm crazy, but I'm just telling you about it. Okay, Dairy Queen, aka DQ. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a DQ here. Not that I would want to swing a dead cat. It's just a saying. Anyway, DQ, home of the Dilly Bar and the Blizzard and all the other frozen treats and fast food type chow as well. DQ is headquartered here in Minneapolis, and their presence here is ubiquitous. If you ask my daughter what her favorite restaurant is, she will say DQ, and she's never actually eaten a meal there. We just get the blizzards and ice cream, but that's her favorite restaurant. Some areas of the country actually close their DQs in the winter. We do not, for the most part. The beauty is that many of these are cute little walk-up stands. These are the ones that do get closed in the winter, but they have picnic tables out in the front, and it just feels really right to eat ice cream that way. Minnesota food number 3 is corn. Sweet corn on the cob specifically. It's not technically ripe here until late July, but other Midwestern states get a jump on us, and we just pretend that we're eating the local sweet corn until we're actually able to. Summer in many homes here equals corn on the cob with butter and salt several nights a week. It always makes me nostalgic for my childhood when you could go get some from our local farmer. He would put grocery bags with a dozen ears each in them out on his picnic table, and then a coffee can there, and it was the honor system that you would just drop a couple bucks in the coffee can and take your bag. Number 4 is lefse. Lefse are an unleavened crepe or pancake. Usually they're made with potatoes, and they're eaten often as a substitute for bread, or they can be stuffed with things like ham and cheese, salmon and cream cheese, or people make them sweet with cinnamon and sugar. Number 5 is the Juicy Lucy. Whatever you do, do not sit directly across from somebody eating a Juicy Lucy. A Juicy Lucy is a hamburger with the cheese on the inside. It guarantees that the cheese will remain molten for a long time, and it also really ups the probability that that cheese is going to come flying out the other side of the burger and hit your friend sitting directly across from you. One of my friends had a suede jacket that was destroyed by somebody eating one of these at the next table, so fair warning. Try to get your cheese on the top. No need to be weird or weirder. Okay, the next 2 are products of what we call the Great Minnesota Get-Together, also known as the State Fair. The more I add to this list, the more I feel like I'm going to be the target of a hit because I'm not singing love songs about the native foods. And I actually don't love the fair, but if you're there, you're likely to be eating a pronto pup with a gallon bucket of Sweet Martha's on the side. In English, this means you're going to have a corn dog and a gallon bucket of chocolate chip cookies. That's a lot of cookies. Number 7 is wild rice. This is an indigenous food here in Minnesota. It grows wild in the lakes, and the traditional way to harvest it is by bending the rice over the side of a canoe with a stick, and then you knock the rice into the boat. Then the rice is dried or parched. This rice is thin, it's a black grain, it takes a lot longer to cook. It's not the white stuff that you buy in the store. It's often added to meat and burgers, added to hot dish, or served in chicken and wild rice soup, which is delicious. Number 9, walleye. Walleye, how do you like the name of that? It's a fish. It's a mild tasting freshwater fish. People love it. Fishing for walleye is a major hobby here in Lake Superior and Lake Mille Lacs, and you'll see walleye on the menus all around town. Number 10 is Honeycrisp apples. The University of Minnesota breeds apple varieties, and one of the most popular types that people can't seem to get enough of is the Honeycrisp. The name fits the apple. It's the perfect blend of sweet and crisp, but it has a mildly tart edge to it. This is a really famous one, but I'm going to make a pitch for one of the newer apples on the scene, the Sweet Tango. It's really good. It's my favorite. It's a super crisp and flavorful apple. Be wary of the pick your own places. It's fun to do, especially with little kids, but you find that it goes very quickly and you go up to pay and you've got $100 worth of apples and a really big job in front of you when you get home. All right, number 11, greenbelt beer. Greenbelt, the friendly beer. This is not a beer for snobs. I love beer, I love craft beers, and I love the breweries, and I love this beer on a really hot summer day. It's a refreshing lager, but you can get their Northeast version, which is a wee bit heavier and falls into the amber lager category. Some of the hipsters may think they're being ironic having a greenbelt, kind of like the hipsters drinking PBRs in Cleveland or the Ling Ling drinkers in Pittsburgh. However you want to justify it. All right, salads. There are no vegetables in the salad. It's Jell-O with fruits and nuts in it, or marshmallow fluff and fruit. I just say no. Lots of people would say that that's my loss, but I'll take the hit. Bars. I may have mentioned these before. I think I did in another video. These I like. Bars are cookies without the pain in the butt of scooping them out. So bars are made in like a 13 by 9 inch pan, and then they just cut them into rectangles. They come in a million different flavors. Pretty much all of them are good, and they're made efficiently. Last thing, top the tater. There is a slavish devotion lavished on what I basically think of as French onion dip. It's pretty good, but it's very Minnesotan. Thanks so much for watching my video today. If you have questions, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Happy to help.